Welcome back. Like, comment, subscribe. Today we're going to be today I'm going to be ranting about the political and economical state of the world. So let's get it. We're going to be reacting to a couple clips that I found on Twitter. Let's see how many we're going to get through today. I might make this video a little bit longer, but in the last 24 hours, a lot actually happened. So there's a lot I've got to rant about. Let's get it. First thing, the first clip I'm going to play is this clip, which is in regards to Trump trying to take over Greenland. And this title is so wild. It says, why Trump taking Greenland is a good thing for the USA. So let's react to it.
Donald Trump is trying to forcibly occupy Greenland, and we need to support him. Here's why.
I know I just started this, but this is pissing me off already. It's like, beloved, darling, sweetie, have you looked in the mirror? Why are we using pronouns like we? You ain't part of this. You might be American, quote unquote American, but this doesn't benefit you. This isn't for the benefit of you. You aren't part of the. They didn't think, oh, how does invasion of Greenland benefit this random black woman? How can we make her life better? You wasn't part of the calculation. We should support Donald Trump taking over Greenland. Ha ha ha. Bro, the only way you're gonna get impact is when they send your brother, your son, your dad to war to die for billionaires' profit. That's the only way it impacts you personally.
To understand this, we need to look at two major things: where Greenland is located on a map and the recent movement of China. Greenland is smack dab in the middle of North America, Russia, and Asia. Also, it's surrounded by water, so it has direct proximity to multiple very important aquatic trade routes, including the Northwest Passage and the GIUC. One of the huge advantages America has is our distance physically from the major nations that would seek to do us harm. I'm talking about Russia, China, and the Middle East.
I'm done with this. It's like listening to a black woman talking about war strategies. Eurocentric war strategies is clown behavior. It is very jester, and it's like I'm going to discuss what she's actually talking about, but it's like you're a woman. Like I'm not a misogynist. I'm not Andrew Tate. I'm not a red pill guy. But it's like you're a woman. Why are we listening to war strategies from a woman when we actually do get into the shits? You're not going to be seen anywhere. So it's like your opinion is the same as a child talking about politics or talking about economics. It's like you're not even a participant of what you're talking about. Let's actually discuss this. And I keep hearing it. They need Greenland for quote unquote security. And it's like, it's 2026. The only war that's being fought right now is a Cold War, and it's obvious. So it's a Cold War between China and Russia versus America, because Europe, we're not really involved like that. After the Venezuela thing, we wasn't involved with that either, and we're certainly not involved with the Greenland thing. So we're in a Cold War. There's not going to be any kinetic wars fought. We have nuclear powers. Remember, Americans need to remember, their biggest enemy is the Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin. He died of natural causes. You guys don't have the balls to even get into war with your biggest enemy that are expansionists. And yet you're talking about we need this land because we're preparing for war with Russia. And shut up, bro. This is a personal project of Donald Trump because he's got a high ego. He wants to be cemented in history. He sees himself as Julius Caesar. Hitler saw himself as Caesar. Trump sees himself as Caesar. And that's where it starts. That's where it ends. This ain't certainly about how random black women in America, how to improve their lives. It certainly ain't that. Americans actually believe that invading Greenland and the whole, we need the minerals and the strategic and national security, you're not going to make it, my guy. I'm sorry.
Eastern countries that scream death to America, the reason we stay safe is because we are so physically far away. They cannot reach us with an attack without us seeing it well in advance. However, if you pay attention, you see that China has been inching closer and closer to the United States with very strategic alliances with our surrounding countries, including the BRICS situation with Brazil, which is right beneath us, multiple African nations, and recently, Canada.
Bitch! Whose fault is that? So after saying that Canada should be part of America, after threatening to annex your next door neighbor, after punishing them with tariffs, you're surprised that Canada is aligning themselves with China, the second largest economy on the planet. What do you think is going to happen when America annexes Greenland? What do you think the EU is going to do after that? You're worried about national security threat. China is right here. They're getting closer to our borders. Russia is getting closer to our borders. Joe Biden forced Russia into China's hands. You lot are pathetic.
Yes, our neighbor, Canada, has decided to align itself with China. Greenland would allow us to not only monitor what Asia is doing and stop Chinese troops if they decide to come through that water passage, but
yeah, because that's such a likely scenario. China in a couple of years is going to send through ships to attack America. You're so right. This is such a pragmatic analysis. What would I do without your analysis right now?
But also it gives us a strategic advantage with 3 points of entry into Canada if Canada decides to act crazy.
It keeps getting better. It keeps getting better. I love her analysis. I need to react to more of her videos. It's pure. It's hilarious. I didn't think I was listening to a comedy skit, but this is hilarious.
So one thing that you guys need to realize is that, yes, there were treaties in place, and that's why NATO wants to get involved. But the fact is, the treaties suck. They do not protect the United States. That's why we backed out of the Green New Deal. You should look into that. But if NATO would rather us not defend ourselves, then we don't need NATO. And we can take them in a war, guys. I think you forgot. We are the biggest and baddest country in the world when it.
She's so dumb. It's unbelievable. First of all, we've got nukes. She's so stupid. What do you mean you're going to take on NATO? Who are you going to be trading? First of all, Americans need to understand that America needs Europe. Honestly, I'm quietly advocating for this, but the dollar is paper. Cool, fair enough, it's pegged to the to oil. But we can buy oil with any currency if we choose to. The dollar does not need to be the reserve currency. And when the dollar falls, America is done. And how can a dollar fall? It stops becoming the reserve currency. We sell all our bonds. You have to pay off your debt. Then America's done. Finito. Finished. Bye-bye. Ciao. Tschüss. It's like people don't know anything about history. Especially, she's American, so of course she doesn't know anything about history. But how do they think the Roman Empire fell after 2,000 years? How? The barbarians invade. That also happened, but it was economics. How did the British Empire fall? Economics. How did the Soviet Union fall? Economics. How did the Ottoman Empire fall? Economics.
Comes to military defenses, we don't need to be afraid of anybody, especially with our strategic positioning. But as our enemies get closer, we need to be smart.
She keeps saying our, we, us. And I get it. She's patriotic. And anyone living in the country should be patriotic. But you, for one, you're not part of the regime. 2, you're not going to see any benefits. 3, you will never, ever, ever join the army. I can see the crazy in your eyes. You'll be the first person to leave.
About this. So stop being scared. Stop pushing back with what the president is doing. Support him, because this will end up being a good thing for us down the line.
Bruh, if this was intentional rage bait, I'd be giving her a standing ovation right now, because this was TT. It was everything that you needed in rage bait. Provocative, stupid, low IQ, and controversial. So I applaud that, but we know she's been being sincere, so I can't give her the credit for it. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next clip. Honestly, it took everything in my power to not call her the word that rhymes with remod. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next clip. Yeah, the next thing I'm going to react to is a clip of Speed, I Shall Speed, in Morocco. And if you don't know me, I'm West African as fuck. And I've got strong opinions on Arabs in Africa, aka North Africans. I love my Muslim brothers. I love my Arabs. Those are my brothers for real. For real. But North Africans, let's get into this clip, man.
Where?
And now you see why I've got strong opinions on Arabs in Africa. People want me to call them, they're not North Africans, we're all Africans, we're all part of the same continent. No, the fuck we're not. No, the fuck they're not. They're not my people. And I'm not their people. And we understand this. Everyone understands this. It's like we need to stop. We need to stop giving them the respect that they demand. They're not part of us. We're not part of them. They are Arabs. They're not African. And it's like, this is one of the reasons why I've got issues with them, because of the obvious blatant racism. And people are going to be like, oh, but Gaddafi, he was a big supporter of Nelson Mandela. Oh, bro, he was one guy. He was one person. He's not even Arab, but obviously he's a Muslim in North Africa. But it was different because Gaddafi was an anti-imperialist, and Nelson Mandela was an anti-imperialist. So we shared an enemy. It doesn't necessarily mean we're natural allies if we share an enemy. Sometimes we share enemies and we're natural enemies too. For example, I Shall Speed, what he's done for Palestine, no other influencer, no other celebrity on the planet has brought more awareness to Palestine than I Shall Speed. Palestine, a fellow Arab brother. He's done more for them than any North African dickhead on this planet. And yet when it comes to Morocco, you're doing monkey sounds and you're flying bananas. The disrespect. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that they lost the AFCON. And I have to say this, not only are they not our natural allies, North Africans are our natural enemies. And the thing is, and it's not like I dislike North Africans. I've had Egyptian friends. I like them personally. But we have to be honest about the history. That's like me saying Jews and Arabs are natural enemies. Everyone knows this, but that doesn't mean that every Muslim wants to kill every Jew. But they understand the context. We all live in a context. And the North Africans fucked us. Not only did they invade us and plunge our lands, they occupied us. They are still occupying us. And it's like people are going to say, but white people did this, and white people aren't our natural allies either. They are our natural enemies too. They too are our natural enemies. Maybe to the same extent. Because France and Belgium, and they really fucked us too. They really did fuck us too. So they're in the same boat, but it's like people have the conception, especially in the diaspora in the West and whatnot, that we are natural allies. We are not. We're the furthest from this. And obviously, like, I support Palestine and whatnot. And I like Arabs and I like Muslims. And I haven't met one that I don't like. Because we're in Europe. I'm in Europe. But sometimes, even when we do share the same enemy, sometimes I see things like this that reminds us of our history. And I promise you, I will never forget our history. Or my history, rather. But I'm always going to advocate for harmony. I'm happy, even though I'm happy that obviously Morocco lost, but I'm happy that Morocco's on AFCON. I'm happy that there's harmony. I'm happy that there's football. I'm happy that we can all play sports together. I'm happy that none of us are at war. So in a sense, I haven't got a problem with them. I really don't have a problem with them, but it's like we just have to remember our history sometimes, because sometimes they're not going to let us forget. Alright, we're going to be reacting to 1 or 2 more videos because I do need more clips. And yeah, this video we're going to react to is of a clip. If you're not chronically on Twitter like I am, you're not going to know this person, but this person's name is Jake Lang. He's a Jew LARPing as a white supremacist, nationalist or whatever. But yeah, let's get into it.
White Americans need to save our country back!
A few inches later. A few moments later. A few minutes later.
Let's go! Let's go! Let him go, y'all! Jake, are you here?
12 seconds later.
Is that him? Is that him? Yes! Open the door! Oh my God. Drive! Oh my God. Just drive! Stop! Wait, let them go! Let them go! Hey, pull over! Pull over! Hey, leave it! Get out of here! Leave it up! Get out of here! No! Y'all just let him leave! It's not working! Hey! We don't know him! Stop it! Let him out! Let him out!
I know you can't see my face, but I'm cheesing right now. But yeah, this is what you call fuck around and find out. This guy really thought that he could come to Minnesota, Minneapolis. I think that's what the state is called. He thought he could go there. He thought he could go to the highest concentration of Somalian community and burn the Quran? He thought they were going to let him do that? What? And I'm really surprised because after Charlie Kirk, he really rolled up with foul security. Is he alright? Was he trying to commit suicide? I don't want to say the word because I don't really know how YouTube works, but he was trying to unalive himself? What? And the best thing about this situation is, obviously I don't follow him, but I've seen his clips on Twitter for a while, and I know what he's about. He's very racist. He's anti-race mixing. He calls black people all sorts of slurs. He's very Islamophobic. As I said earlier, he came there to burn a Quran. So obviously when he heard that there's a community of black Muslims, he was rubbing his hands together. And the best thing about this situation is he got saved by a Muslim and a black person. They literally saved his life. He would have died. He would have been on a line. Like the irony, the jokes write themselves. And here in England, for all my UK people watching me right now, I mean, it's probably going to be all UK people watching, to be fair. We need to stand on business like this as well. Tommy Robinson, we need to stand on business. I'm not saying hurt him. I'm not saying do anything. I'm not going to advocate for any violence, but we need to stand on business. Because England and America, it's like a mirror situation. It's actually that's a very wrong thing to say. It's not a mirror situation because Labour obviously is in power, but the tensions between the races in terms of that, it's mirroring each other, because right now we're entering a very racist a very, very openly racist time right now in the UK, so we have to stand on business. Anyways, this was the last clip I'm reacting to. Subscribe, like, share, tell a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. This isn't Jester, this isn't, as we keep going, my purpose is to raise the consciousness of my fellow UK brethren. We've been fucked. I am not obviously I'm not a conservative, and I'm definitely not a Labour shill. Certainly not. They're to me, I see both of them as the same problem. So yeah, like, I'm not gonna show my face right now anyway, because I know what I'm thinking. I know that any time I could say something that's really going to fuck me. So yeah, so tell a friend, because we're going to raise the bar. They've got a few people in the UK, in America, doing something similar. No one in the UK, none of the man them are doing something like this. None of the man them are talking about this shit I'm talking to you. So if you want this kind of, and obviously there's going to be, obviously, as I said, this is not entertainment, but it's going to have entertainment aspects. So you're going to be informed, and hopefully you're going to be entertained as well. But yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm out. Peace.